What's up guys, welcome to another episode, and here behind us we have the beautiful Datsun 280Zx and the beautiful Daniel Leone. No, that's you.
Oh, yep.
What's up? So pretty much we're doing a DIY paint job on the 280Zx and I'm freaking pumped about it. Currently, obviously, as you guys have seen on the channel, we wrapped this thing, and I know what you're thinking. You're saying, it looks so good, why is he gonna change it? But it looks good from here, right? But this is eBay wrap. I did a pretty quick job of it, and I don't really know how to wrap cars.
And it's also through a camera instead of in person.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if we look closer, there are just so many imperfections throughout the thing. I pretty much put the wrap on just to cover it up before we actually sprayed it, and that's going to be right now. You can see there's like bubbles through the wrap on the hood, and like places where I didn't do a very good job, and I overstretched it here, and just heaps of stuff really. Bubbles in a lot of places. That's all just through my fault, and also it probably being eBay wrap. And you know, we've started kind of having a look, seeing how it's going to pull off, and it's going to be very, very, very satisfying pulling it off. So whilst the eBay wrap's been very good to us, it's time to take this car to its final form and what it really deserves to be, and that is a really, really nice 280Zx that's perfectly painted, nice and straight. We've got some bodywork to do for sure. There's a couple of lines in the car that need to be perfected, a couple of wee dents here and there, and that's what Dan's going to do, because I'm rubbish at bodywork. And we just really want to make this car, what it deserves to be. These things are getting super expensive now, going up in price every single month. And this is a pretty good example. It did have some rust in it, which we've taken care of. I still have a little bit more rust to take care of, so stuff like this down here, and there's a bit of hole right here. Nothing crazy. We'll be cutting that out and putting patches in. It's got the coilovers, it's got the wheels, flares. It looks really good, but really it just needs the paint job to kind of finish it off. Of course, there's some engine stuff I need to do as well. So I'll show you guys the paint that we've got. Barbaran. Woo! So here's the paint that we have, and the color we have chosen. Woo! R34 GDR Bayside Blue. Looks a bit funky there, obviously it needs to be mixed up, but it's the color that this car really deserves to be. So the eBay wrap, I don't even know what color this technically is. It's blue, but it's definitely not Bayside Blue. I'm freaking pumped about that. And also we have brand new carpet to go on the interior. We will be doing a full interior overhaul as well. So, woo! So many things going on. This is going to be like a series throughout the week that we're going to be doing. Hopefully get it all done pretty much this week in the next 5 days, and take you guys along for the ride. First things first, we need to bring the Datsun into the garage, and we are going to tear this thing down and rip the vinyl off. Bring it in, Dan. Yep, it's such a cool car, man. It's the ugly duckling of the lot apparently, the 280Zx, but I'll tell you what, for some reason I prefer these models over like the 240s and the 260s. That's just my preference. I think it's because I'm used to looking at it. So now when I look at the 240s, they just look really small. We're gonna pull it? Pull it, I wanna see. Go, pull some wrap off. That's satisfying as hell. So this used to be Bayside Blue. Someone sprayed it, but they didn't do a good job. I think it was the prep work that they didn't do a very good job of, and it's basically the clear and stuff. They also sprayed it and left it sitting outside for 10 years.
We're going to attempt to do it better.
We are going to do it better. See, look, I've done this. Oh, I did this one, and I learned a lot of lessons from it, and then we're going to apply those lessons to this car. So I'm pumped. All right, insert disassembly time lapse here. Alrighty, so we are quite a ways through getting the vinyl off the car and pulling the car apart. As you can see, panels are off. Well, this panel's off anyway. Vinyl's off, vinyl's off, vinyl's off, vinyl's off. All the back end, everything's off. And I'll tell you what, it's not been too hard to pull the vinyl off. Pretty easy, really. I think it's easier when it's in the sun, just because the vinyl's a little bit warm. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of, obviously someone's skimmed a lot of the metalwork with bog, and that's all pulled off with the vinyl, which I'm not really annoyed about because we're really wanting to take quite a lot back anyway ourselves. So obviously there's a lot of sanding work to be done and a bit of body work to be done. It's quite straight, this car, actually. As you can see, there is bog in the car. These things are quite renowned for rust, but it's not a lost cause. You know, it's definitely, the car was definitely savable when I first got it, and we've done a pretty good job, I think, of fixing up most of the rust. So we'll go over the car, make sure it's absolutely mint before we start spraying it, obviously. As you guys will remember, we've already undersealed under the front guards and all that stuff, and anti-rust sprayed it so that it can't rust, or won't rust for many years to come, which is rad. So we'll do a lot more of that stuff as well. Dan's just working away while I'm vlogging. Man, it's crazy the difference between the car when it rolled up today to what it looks like right now, but I assure you it is for a good cause. So we're gonna keep cracking on, finish off ripping this vinyl off, and then see where we're at. Alrighty, so the whole car is stripped, which is hilarious because it took me like at least a week to wrap this thing and took us about an hour and a half to rip all the wrap off, which is pretty nuts. The whole car's, yeah, we're taking the guards off, the doors off, roofs off, tail lights out, so much stuff off, everything that we can possibly take off. Needs a whole lot of body work. We've started circling things where we need to do a bit of work on. And tomorrow, basically the whole day is going to be focused on sanding this thing down and basically getting it ready to lay paint. And Dan's really excited about it, aren't you, Dan?
Super excited. Can I just tell?
Look, it looks, you know, funky right now, but I can promise you it's going to come up super nice with some elbow grease into it. So I'm pumped, freaking loving it. It's such a fun process getting a car ready for paint. Before I did the paint car, I would have found this super daunting, but you know, upon doing that car, I realized kind of how fun the process is, and I couldn't wait to get back into it with this car. So for anyone wanting to know, the eBay wrap, highly recommended for any kind of car like a race car, where you don't really need, like, you know, you don't really worry too much about little imperfections, but if you're wanting to wrap a street car, I'd highly recommend spending the money on the quality product. Alrighty guys, that's all we've got for tonight. We're gonna head home, but I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning where we continue the body work on the car. And hopefully by the end of tomorrow, we've got this thing to a point where we might be able to spray it the day after, which would be crazy, but you. Good morning guys. Day 2 of working on the Datsun 280Zx refresh / DIY paint job to make this thing freaking gangster. Beautiful day here in Melbourne. We've been to the shop to get everything that we need to get this done. Body filler, sander, because sanding by hand is not fun. Bunch of sanding discs, Sikaflex, masking tape, rust converter, scrapers, stuff for the compressor. You! Look at this, we've got a bit of work to do though. Got some rust to fix up in the doors. By the end of it, this thing is going to be rust free. Of course, Dan's here to help me out because he's a freaking champion. And also, I've got some other stuff for the E36, the competition car. But that will be in another video because it's quite exciting actually. But next video. Check out the car that Dan drove here today. It is Joel's TC Bow E30. This thing is so just beautiful. Needs to be a little bit lower in the back. Gosh, it's cool. Alright, what's first, Dan?
Let's start sanding.
Yep, that's it. We're just gonna get into it.
Then we can put some bog on the bits that we need.
Yep.
But we'll see where we're at first before we start the bog, because if we can use as little bog as possible.
That's the best, yeah. Bog stuff. Awesome. Alright, sweet. And we are doing the door sills as well. We're gonna do everything this car's gonna be. We want it to be so nice. And so we're not gonna we're not gonna take any shortcuts. We're not gonna do a closed door respray. We will be doing inside the sills. So sweet, straight into it. We're gonna start sanding down and see where we get to before we lay down the bog. So while Dan's been working hard on the car, I did a bit of sanding on the roof as well. It's all really coming together. It's going to look super nice. So we're just taking it back to where it needs to be. So once we lay the primer, woo, she's silky smooth. We can tell already that it's going to look really good. And I've been working away on the doors. So there's a bit of rust, but this rust is fine. I grind it back with the flappy disc and then just rust convert it. So just literally paint the rust converter on, turns it black, and it just brings it pretty much back to life. And then after that we can go ahead and prime over that and paint it, sand it, prime it and paint it. But obviously in places like this where the rust had to be cut out because it was super drastic, you can't convert that, and then that's where you need to start to go ahead and cut and weld in patches of metal. These doors obviously are super hard to find, and this door definitely wasn't too far gone. Really just this part that had to be kind of saved, which is sweet. So what I've done, so what we're doing is we are cutting out patches. So I have made the first part of the patch, which is this bit of cardboard right here that kind of goes along with the shape of the bottom of the door, and then we'll do another patch here and then a final patch up top as well. So it's a bit, you have to be pretty meticulous with how you go ahead and do this so that it fits with the shape of the body of the car when you shut the door, and it all looks nice. So patch out a cardboard and then obviously mark it out on a piece of metal, which I've done, and then go ahead, cut it out, and then tack it in and kind of bend it how it needs to be. And that's pretty much the process. It's a bit slow, it's a bit tedious, but that'll be well worth it in the end when we have a nice rust-free door. And then I have to do the same to the other door, which isn't as bad as this door. And that'll be the doors done. I know some of you guys will be thinking I'm a bit crazy for attempting to spray this myself, but that's what this YouTube channel is all about. Giving things a go for DIY. I feel like I am confident enough to spray this car to a point where I'll be happy with it, but you guys can be the judge of that once you see it all done. So the pressure's on, but I can take it. I can take it. Look, we've got brand new carpet, everything. This car's gonna be gangster. But at the moment, right now, we need to eat because I'm hungry. So we have finished one of our doors, and this is how it looks. Patch is all done. Seam seal is there, just drying off. And then once that's all dry and it's painted, booyah! You won't even know. Well, you will because there's a seam sealer there, but you know what I mean. Way better than having a big chunk of rust there. This door is now officially rust free. You can't see it on camera, but he's like a random shade of blue now because he's got so much crap on him, which is hilarious. You look like a freaking Smurf, dude. Whoo! Alright, I'm gonna keep working, but really enjoying this process. Good fun. Update time for y'all. So we've made some mad progress. The doors, rust free. The car, nearly rust free. As you saw in the footage, I welded up the arches and then we've sealed it off with seam sealer so that there's no more weather getting up into those guards and no risk of rusting, and also it keeps the in-car noises a lot quieter as well. It's been something I was meaning to do right from the start. I'm super stoked to have done that now. So obviously the flares go over the top, looks all nice and tidy. Dan's also laid down the bog that we needed to lay down, so the boot has always been a rough point of the car. I'll probably end up sourcing another boot at some point. We're going to make the best of this boot. The spoiler covers up a lot of it at the back. Then we've also gone down and laid the bog on this side, which has had a rust repair done on this side previously. So we're just trying to make it super perfect. And yeah, the car has come a long way, but there's still a crap load left to do. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the morning for more body shop madness. Yeah! Alrighty. Day 3 of working on the Datsun frickin' thing, 280Zx. We are getting pretty close to the finish now, really. And I am in the process of cutting out the last of the rust. Here is a patch that I've just cut out. Obviously mirrored with cardboard, and then cut out a metal and weld back in. And then we've got to do the same here. And that's pretty much the last of the rust that we need to take care of in the body of the 280Zx, which I'm really excited about because I hate rust. It sucks. Daniel, how you doing?
Fabulous.
Are you more sanding?
Yeah, a bit more sanding. The thing with bog is Well, me personally, I can't get it perfect the first time. You're gonna do a few layers.
Yep. You always have to do a few layers.
So it's a matter of just laying bogs and sanding, then laying bogs and sanding.
Tedious process, but it's going to be well worth it because this car's going to look damn fine. So the aim for today, finish the bodywork, build the booth, and have everything ready so that we can start spraying it tomorrow. Very, 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 very excited about this. Dan, take a seat, mate. You're doing well.
Sure.
But yeah, we're going to get to welding into this patch in the rear end, so let's do it. It is really scary cutting holes in your car, especially when it's a Datsun Z, but at the same time, the alternative was this. Leaving the rust in your car, and you can't cover that up. May as well do it properly, cut out the rust, replace it with some proper panels. Got one more panel to cut here, and then this car is done in terms of rust. Luckily I don't have to get the shape like absolutely perfect because it's behind the bumper, otherwise I wouldn't have even attempted it because I really don't know what I'm doing. But this I'll be able to get pretty nice. We'll spray it and then the bumper goes over top. If you guys ever see this car in person, know that this little bit is behind here imperfect, and you know that and no one else does, so congratulations. Filming a whole bunch because you guys have basically seen 3 days of bodywork, and you know what it is. It's not that fun to watch, really.
Over and over and over.
It is the same thing over and over again. So where we welded the plates in, boom, it's done, and then I run some bog over it just to make it look, nice and smooth. Just need to finish sanding a little bit more on the bog, and then that's done. Everything else is pretty much done, just a tiny bit more bog to sand, but we need to go over the final once over the car. I took the time quickly, actually, look at this, to respray all of this, like on the inside here. So I cleaned it all up, took everything out, sprayed it all nice and black while we have the valance off because we have the opportunity to do so. So that all looks freaking nice and tidy, which is cool. But we're really on the home straight now. So last sanding stuff, and then we're done. No more welding, no more patching. The car is essentially rust free, no more rust holes. So that is freaking fantastic. So now it's just about, finish sanding, we'll pull the car out, we'll blow it off with dust, and then we're gonna build our paint booth and we're gonna mask the car up. And it'll be ready to paint tomorrow morning. And now I'm a little bit scared because I have to actually paint the car and not screw it up. So that's done. But yeah, let's carry on, finish this off and see where we get to.
Good. Watch the BMW.
How you doing? Alrighty guys, it's under the gazebo, which is kind of half up at the moment in the morning. Tomorrow is a very, very exciting day because we will be spraying the car. So that's mad. All in one video, massive video for you guys. So I was gonna split it up, but I thought, nah, let's keep it in one video, keep it entertaining. So borderline tempted to leave this thing as it is because it looks so freaking cool and it's really fun to drive out on the road, but yeah, we can't do that. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the morning. We're doing masking and building of our booth and spraying. Yeah, boom. Woo! Good morning, team. Welcome back, day 4. And a very exciting day because today is game day. That's right, this thing is getting painted today. As you can see, Dan is already hard at work. We have 2 more little spots we need to finish off. This front sill underneath the window and just a little spot underneath that we need to just sand down the bog. And then the car is ready for paint. And then we've got to build our booth and we've got to wipe the car down with wax and grease remover, mix the paints and start freaking painting. As you can see, it is a beautiful day here, which is really good because it means the temperature's nice and warm and it's going to help a lot in terms of the paint drying nice and quickly. I went out and got a nice big blower extraction fan so that we can extract all of the crazy paint air while we're painting, and also just make sure that there is a minimal amount of dust in the air while we're painting. So we should be able to get a pretty good makeshift booth made up today, which is awesome. So all right, let's do it. And we're in our spray booth in here, so we're just going to give it literally one final wipe down, make sure that we're happy with everything, and then I'm going to lay down the first, let's get this out of the way, thing of primer. Let's call it coat. I'm going to lay down the first coat of primer. How do you feel about it, Daniel? Are you happy with what we've done?
Should be good. It's going to be 100 times better than what the wrap was anyway, so.
Oh yeah, for sure. From what it was. Wow, it definitely needs a wipe down.
Yep.
Yeah, so the biggest scary point for us is probably just getting crap in the paint, so we've really tried as hard as we can to not have stuff in here that can get in the paint, but we'll give it one last blow over, wipe down, just really take the precautions to make sure that we've done everything we can, and then we'll mix up the primer and lay it down. Freaking Christmas miracle. The primer is laid. Doors primed. The car is fully primed. Oh, it's hard to get an angle from here, but it's all primed. Sitting in our booth, the makeshift booth. This booth is so much better, especially with the extraction fan, and then this is so much better as well than the mask that I had last time, because it's really hard to get a respirator at the moment. There's none available. That's pain in the backside. But it's all good. This is working really well, and the extraction fan is working really well as well, so I'm feeling a lot better this time than I did last time while I was painting the car, even if I do look like a Scandinavian bandit with this stuff on. But now is the really, really exciting part. That is because we get to mix and spray the Bayside blue color, which doesn't really look super Bayside blue right now, but it's mad. So we're gonna mix this up. I just want to put a huge shout out to Broken Sylvia for all of the advice. He has a series for building a poor man's GDR. You guys have to go check it out, links in the description. He's a rad dude, does really cool videos, but he just painted his poor man's GDR, R34 GDR Bayside blue, and gave a huge amount of advice whilst doing so, and I've watched his video probably 10 times to make sure that I took in as much advice that I could. So shout out Broken Sylvia, and we will hopefully be doing something together soon. We are going to mix the colour, and what we're going to do is we're going to mix a couple of batches of it up so that we don't have to come back and mix it each time. And then so we can just come back, fill up and keep going. So there's the base colour, and then which is an undercoat, and then there's another kind of colour which is like a clearer coat. I don't really know, to be honest, but they both have to be sprayed. So we'll mix this one now. Dan's laughing at me because I have no idea what I'm talking about. And remember, last time I mixed hardener into the base coat on this car, and that was a big mistake. Luckily I saved it, but this is 1-to-1 with thinners, not hardener. So don't be silly, Mike. Only thinners though. Let's mix it up, and let's frickin' get it sprayed. I did not. It's not pouring well. So it's been a crazy day / night. It's now about 10 PM at night, so you know when you think those things are going to take like a couple of hours and they end up not taking a couple of hours? That's one of these times. Everything is now Bayside blue, which is awesome. We've just done the base coat, no clear coat, because we ended up having some dramas. Everything's looking sick though, super nice. We ended up having some dramas with the roof. So the roof ended up reacting in a couple of spots here and at the back, big time. And so we decided to pull the pin, wait for the paint to dry. We sanded it right back to metal, wax and grease remover again, primed it, and then base coated again. And it was a great decision because we've managed to save the paint. So that's freaking awesome. But the whole car is painted now. So tomorrow we're gonna come back and we are gonna paint the second color, top candy coat thing that you've got to do. We've decided not to kind of take any shortcuts and kind of wait till tomorrow and get it done properly, and then we're going to lay down the clear coat. So yeah, but it's been a huge success I guess so far, bar the little things that we had go on. Huge thanks to Dan, he's really worked super hard on this thing, but we're not there yet, a little bit more to go. So I'll see you guys in the morning when we continue on finishing the 280Zx respray. Yeah, chew. And what is up? Day 5 of spraying the 280Zx, and now that we have proper sunlight again, it's actually been it was a really good idea basically to decide to stop last night and come back with fresh minds today, because in the clear light we've seen a couple of things that we didn't quite like. So we gave the car just a quick sand down over the whole car with with some high grit sandpaper. Got rid of some imperfections, and we're gonna quickly just base the car again, and then we'll go ahead to our second color, put the candy coat on, and then we can clear it. So cross your fingers, there's no reactions, and we just have smooth sailing from here on out. Base coat's all down, candy coat's down, no idea what it did. Seemed like it didn't do much, but I'm sure it did something. Maybe it comes into effect when the clear goes on. We've mixed up the clear, 2 parts clear, 1 part hardener, bit of thinners. Chuck it in, Matt. We're going to tack cloth the whole car quickly. It's very warm, so it's drying so quickly, which is nice. And we're going to go to frickin' town on this thing. So after many hours of hard work, I've finished spraying. We've left it sitting for a while. We've cleaned up. No more walls on the booth anymore. And we've pushed it outside now so that it can dry in the sun. But this is what it looks like. Woo! Oh damn! All the hard work we put in, especially with this dude, shout out Dan, just really stoked with the results. And the best thing is, once I get someone to cut it back and polish it, it's going to be even better. But that colour is ridiculous, eh?
The clear changes everything.
Yeah, the clear does change everything as well. As soon as you lay that clear down, it absolutely freaking pops. I definitely fell into a rhythm when I was spraying the clear. It was quite hard for the first little bit, but then once I got the hang of it, again, watched a bunch of YouTube videos, shout out Broken Sylvia, got into a rhythm and just, yeah, layered up the clear, come up really, really nice. So now we just have to let it sit and dry. All right, so we're relaxing outside and just enjoying a bit of sunshine after what's been a 5-day mammoth effort in getting this beast painted. And man, it's well and truly just been an insane amount of work. Literally, we've done at least 10 hours every single day, and it looks freaking awesome. Look, it's not perfect. It never was going to be, because I'm not a car painter and we aren't professional bodywork people. But it looks literally 150,000% better than it did when it was wrapped, and that was the aim. And it actually looks really freaking good as well. Like, seriously, it looks awesome. If you guys see it in person, I'm sure you will say the same. The color is so deep and awesome, and just that R34 Bayside Blue is really a color that pops.
Despite it being a lot of work, it was a lot of fun as well.
Hell yeah. That is the end of this video, guys. We are going to take some well-deserved rest and have a drink and just relax and enjoy this beautiful sunny day here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Thank you guys so much for coming along on this journey with us. Thank you to Dan. Dude, without Dan, this car would look absolutely rubbish. Next up, of course, we're going to continue building the RX36, aka 13B36, aka Karen. Next up, we are taking it to get an exhaust from Damon, which I'm super excited about. Until then, thank you guys for supporting. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at @MikeLake, at Daniel Leone. I don't know how to say it. We probably already had a drink or two. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much. Peace.